All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend, extra day to relax, spend time with family, and do things that you enjoy away from the charts. It's always good, but glad to be back. So, as always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage, all right? So, we're going to dive into charts. Had some data come out late last night here in the U.S. Want to take a look at that, see how things went for the Aussie. Then we'll dive into the charts, take a look at some dollar pairs, take a look at the Aussies, and we will go through the cycle on the chart. So without further ado, please drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay, just to make sure that everything is cool. All right, perfect. So let's do this. Boom. All right, appreciate you. So let's head over to Trading Economics, check out things there. And then we'll go from there. Screen is paused. Let's see what's happening. 1 second, everyone. Share. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm not able to get you guys over to my other screen. And I'm not sure why. What's that? Let's see. Let's try this again. There. That's odd. Let's try it differently. All right. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, so Trading Economics. Apologize for the delay there. Trading Economics. China services sector growth at 8-month low. We've seen over the past few weeks, few months, China struggling to gain some footing and really start to make progress out of their pandemic constraints and things like that. So the Kaizen China General Services PMI slipped to 51.8 in August from 51.9 in July, missing the mark. Missing market forecast 53.6. It was the softest increase in services activity since the start of the year as demand continues to weaken. New order growth slowed while export sales fell for the first time since last December. Meantime, sentiment hits lowest in 9 months. All right, so we have some, again, continued struggles. China getting their getting order, right? Getting their footing. So we know that also has an impact on the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So keep that in mind. Australia, Reserve Bank of Australia maintained its cash rate at 4.1%, right? You guys saw in the newsletter, Benny stated that based on the data that it came out, it was likely that they would hold the cash rate, and they did. So during the final meeting under Governor Lowe, extending the rate pause for the third consecutive month, in line with market consensus, the board said that inflation had passed its peak, but the readings remain too high and it will stay for some time. The central bank reiterated that some further monetary tightening may be needed to bring back inflation to the target of 2 to 3% in a reasonable time frame, adding that any rate adjustment will depend upon how the economy and prices evolve. The board projected that inflation will be around 3.25% around the end of 2024 and back within the intended corridor by 2025. Meantime, Australia's economy is experiencing a period of below trend growth, and this is expected to continue for a while. And unemployment is forecasted to rise gradually to around 4.5% late next year. Committee also kept unchanged the interest rate exchange settlement balance at 4%. So they're starting to see some data shifts, right? They're starting to see things come in alignment. However, they're still not seeing inflation decrease at the same pace. So decrease the rate and could do it again in the future, depending on how the data comes out, but they didn't remove the opportunity for rate hikes to come in if necessary, if the data shows it's needed. So we'll take a look at the odds to see how that impacted those. U.S. logistics sector back to expansion. Logistics managers index in the United States increased to 51.2 in August, the highest since February, and pointing to first growth in the logistics sector in 4 months, right? So seeing some growth in some areas still in the United States, right? Euro area. Producer price in the Euro area declined by 7.6% year on year in July, in line with market estimates, and accelerating from 3.4% decrease in the previous month. It marked the third consecutive decline in producer prices at the steepest pace since 2009, largely due to base effects from surge in energy prices following Russian invasion of Ukraine. Hence, energy prices sank by 24.2% from the 16.4% in the previous month, while producer costs dropped at a slower extent from intermediate goods. On the other hand, inflation slowed for the industries producing capital goods, durable consumer goods, and non-durable consumer goods. On a monthly basis, producer prices in the Eurozone fell by 0.5%, seventh straight decline, extending the 0.4 drop in the previous month. So things starting to slow down in the Euro area as well, right? So seeing this and then looking at the Euro, right? Price still moving to the downside for the Euro. So, and then Eurozone inflation, meeting consumer expectations for the Euro area. Inflation over the next 12 months were unchanged at 3.4% in July of 2023, remaining the lowest levels, remaining at low levels not seen since February 2022. ECB consumer expectations survey showed. Meanwhile, expectations for inflation 3 years ahead increased to 2.4% from 2.3%. Also, uncertainty about inflation expectations over the next 12 months was unchanged for the second consecutive month. Same time, ECB survey showed consumers expected their normal income over the 12 months to increase by 1.1%, slightly less than 1.2% in May. So inflation expectations in the future, right, over the long term, increased a bit, uncertain about the next 12 months. Okay, so there's some uncertainty, fear on how things are going to transpire and what's going to be necessary to get inflation back into that zone. All right. So that's where we are from a fundamental perspective. And we see where are we at here? Swiss GDP below expectation on Monday. Bank holiday in the U.S. President Lagarde spoke yesterday. She didn't give any indication on inflation expectations for this. Rate expectations for this month. Her statements were actions speak better than words. So she didn't say which way the ECB would fall. So she kind of left it neutral there. You see that CAD, the Aussie. Then later on today, we got GDP for the Aussie. Those European PMI numbers that we discussed as well. Tomorrow we have Bank of Canada rate going to be big on S&P PMI for dollar, and monetary policy report hearings for the pound. So that's tomorrow, and then on Friday, unemployment claims for the dollar, FOMC member speaking, Bank of Canada, Governor Macklem speaking, more FOMC members speaking, data coming out of Japan, and then on unemployment change and employment change, unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar, and CPI for China, right? So, but still got some data, and we're starting to go through the rate cycle. So keep our eyes peeled there. Any questions from a fundamental perspective? No? All right, cool deal. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. Everybody out there doing all right? I hope so. September.
Yes, sir. It's September, man. It's September. We are rocking. So I say, yes, sir. Anything fundamentally that caught your eye yesterday or this morning?
No, just pretty much what you're covering. One of the things I'm doing now is I'm putting the summaries together and putting them in the Discord. So definitely want to do that more often. So for just another rundown of what you already covered brilliantly, might I add.
I appreciate
you. Yeah, the summaries will be on the Discord.
Oh, perfect. Appreciate that, man.
Yep.
Give me 1 second, everybody. My bad. Appreciate you. All right, so let's take a look at the dollar, cruise through some Aussies, and we'll take a look at some Canadian dollar pairs as well. So we know last week after the data came out, the dollar got a boost, and it's still rising. Still rising, still pushing to the upside. Now we'll see when the New York session opens, but early on the upside, right? So we got a new level here, 13,077. That price is headed to, with the daily D extension just above at 1398. All right, so pressing to the upside on the dollar, which means, right, the dollar crosses, press to the downside. So dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar down, right? So we'll see what has range here, top, bottom, top. And Reese has been dollar's going to run, right? So dollar's running. We'll see what happens as we get higher in the range here. Okay. Coming down to the 4, right? We see on the 4 we got pull back. matching the extension on 4-hour sub fib is here at 13,148, right? So a little bit more work to do there, but pressing to the upside nonetheless. Okay, so dollar running long. Let's look at the Aussies just to see how that rate statement impacted those, and then we'll take a look at some dollar pairs and Canadian dollar pairs as well. So to the Aussie CAD, turned over and pressing down, right? We know we've been moving to the down trend line, got a little bit of a pullback, 382, and now we're pressing back down to the downside. Strong bearish candle. We'll see if we get a pullback and then a continuation, right? We know we've been looking long on the Canadian dollar. Back and forth, especially how oil has been moving, but Canadian dollar gaining some strength there. So pressing to the downside here on this Aussie CAD in a relatively strong way, right? So coming to the 4, right? Zoom out. We see signal rate retracement, pressing to the downside, right? So expected, taking this time, didn't get a deep pullback, get back to that trend line, but we're still moving to the downside nonetheless. And coming down to the 1, on the 1, we did get a very nice in. Let's see. Oh, that was the fib I was looking at earlier, but price movement to the downside there. We got a decent retracement here, and then price turned over and continued making its way down, right? So continue moving to the downside as expected on the Aussie CAD. Nothing changed there, right? So we get to 86 and continue lower, getting to the matching D extension at some point at 85. Okay, so Aussie moving to the downside. Aussie moving to the downside there. My bad, folks. My bad, folks. On YouTube. I had you muted. So we are on the go. Okay, we're on the go. So that's the Aussie CAD. Any questions there? That pullback got you in, Joy? Sweet.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You said it brought you in? Pullback put you into the trade? What do you mean by that?
Oh, no, that wasn't me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Cool deal. Cool deal. All right. So on to Aussie Swiss. So we know in this one, looking for a pullback to occur. Overall, been pressed down. We're sitting in this 118, 127 zone, right off the shallow. Boom. Right, came into a daily support level, pushed in a pullback now. So the question again, right, does the support level continue to hold 56,051, or is this just a pullback for price then to continue moving back to the upside? We'll see, right? We know, obviously, with the rate decision for the Aussie, things moving to the downside. So we'll see what transpires throughout the week. We had our 80-20 that we're tracking. Oh, good. Here's the 80-20 on the 4 that we were tracking, and getting a pullback here, right? Seen 127, push up, decent retracement. Now we're coming back down, okay? So if we run a sub fib off the low here, just to track price movement, right? You see a deep retracement. So we'll see again, does this, do we take out this 56,051? Or do we stay in that zone, maybe double bottom, push down to that level, and then get another rise to the upside? We'll have to wait to see what happens with the Aussie and the Swiss. All right. So that's there on the 1. We broke the cloud, pressing to the downside. On the 1 is where we've been, right? We got a 786 level, match 10. Okay, so looking to see what happens here if this 1 hour fib plays out, or do we kind of get range bound a bit and then push back to the upside? All right. So pressing down nonetheless. So if you're playing this off the 1 hour time frame, right? Beautiful to the downside. Okay. So that's where we are on the Aussie Swiss question.
Ryan, I actually put my hand up to ask a question.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, okay. I was just curious to ask, you know, when you mentioned with regards to a pullback, is a pullback an opportunity to enter a trade?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Based on the sweet spot. So,
all right. Yeah.
618 and deeper. So as price pushes into that zone, absolutely. If you want to trade that AB boundary to the downside, 618, 786, 8 zone, as price pushes in there, look for your entry opportunity and then take that to the downside. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That's quite clear now. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, but that's why we have those sweet spots, right? We got one on a counter trend play, and we got one with the trend, right? And you hear Benny say all the time, right? If you're not looking to play that counter trend move, patiently wait for, in this scenario, a high price, right? To then get short, right? And that's all you do. Wait for the pullback, wait for that, then look for your entry opportunity, meet your rules, and to the trade to the downside, right? Pullbacks are definitely opportunities to get in trade as long as that is in your trading plan. But based on the methodology that we teach, multiple opportunities to enter trades depending on what it is that you're looking for and the type of trader that you desire to be. All right. So the Aussie Swiss over to the Aussie yen. This one's been interesting, right? Been trapped in this range, right? Here's an overall fib on Aussie yen, but we've been trapped in this range here with 976 and 92,786. Right now we're pressing back down to the bottom of that range. Right? Pressing back down to the bottom of the range. We'll see what transpires as we get there. Okay. Back down. Coming to the 4, you see that range just a little bit more clearly here, right? We got some 4-hour support here and here. That could come into play, but I'm watching this 92,984 level to see what happens there. If we're able to break that and continue lower to try to make our way to the matching D, does that level hold again, and do we continue to stay range bound? All right, so that's kind of where my eyes are on this Aussie yen. If you come to the right on the lower time frames, you see those small here, right? The way it's played out, you had an 8-6 retracement. Here you go, you've seen it. Right? Retracement, entry stayed inside the AB boundary, right? Enter that at a 618 level or deeper, did not take out the A, right? If price doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go your way. Boom. Matching the extension at the 118 level at 93,681, right? So pullback, extension, right? So now we're looking for a fresh AB boundary to come in. Once this candle closes, and looking for the cycle to continue. So look for a pullback, as long as price doesn't take out the A, pullback, look for a press down, get to the matching D extension. Okay. That's where we are on the Aussie. Look for a high, I'm going to wait for a high price on this one. I'm going to play this range opportunity here. Look for price to continue to press to the downside here, right? But looking for price to come into this 118, 127. I mean, 618, 786 range. Boom, like so. Questions on this Aussie yen?
Nope.
Nope, no questions. Cool deal. All right, so we'll watch that and see if we get that type of action, see if we stay inside that new AB boundary when it forms. All right. Let's take a look at this Aussie New Zealand. still range bound, right? Tightly wound range. Right here. Okay, we got a 618 retracement at a double bottom at the daily support level, trying to push and break out, but we're stuck. Right. So we'll continue to monitor this and watch to see what direction price wants to move. Resistance level there. And don't have an actual support level yet. We'll see how this candle today closes. But we do have, take this down. Do have another support level here though. Boom. Right. So we're just trapped in the range on this Aussie. Excuse me. 4-hour time frame. Right. We got a 786 retracement. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Right. Moving to the downside here off that deep retracement. Okay. So we got a 4-hour support there. We're able to break that and continue down to this daily support level within that range. And then we'll see how price moves from there. All right. I'm not going to range, not a range that I want to play here, but going to watch what transpires. Coming down to the 1, right? Here's our AB the downside, right? There's that support level. We'll see if we stay inside that AB boundary or not. Okay, so this one, again, here's your range, your overall range here. And you got your fibs being taken out in both directions. Technically, right, from a technical perspective, when those fibs get taken out in both directions, that's an identifier for you to say, oh, price is moving in a range. Just from a visual perspective, outside of seeing, obviously, price is just moving sideways, right? But we'll see what happens on in these lower levels here in this 1-hour AB boundary to see if we get an opportunity there. Okay, questions? Oh, all right, cool. Cool. Dollar. Down. Down, right? Daily time frame. You can get a fib to pop in, maybe. There we go. Frame, right? We know we're headed to the downside. We had a previous support level here in this range that we've been trapped in. Right? We retested that previous daily support level. Let's see if we're finally able to break that and continue moving to the down. Okay. So that's what I'm watching, is this daily level as we move through as the New York session opens. What happens here? Right? This is a strong bearish candle. Are the bulls able to hold that and push price back? We'll see. Coming into the 4, just shy of a pushing down, right? Catching the extension just below this daily level. Okay. So we'll watch this closely and transpire today. Maybe we push down and hit this 4-hour D extension and continue moving down. Okay. Wouldn't be surprising in the scenario, as that dollar could continue to push to the upside to get to that resistance level that we talked about. Right. Excuse me. That is the 4-hour on the Aussie dollar. Then coming to the 1, here was an 80-20 scenario, a retracement 118, 127, gave us a double top, boom, break down. All right, this was last week, right? Break down to the downside. So coming into that support level and see what we get. And you see here, right, running the fibs down, price took out the A. So we flipped the direction of the fib. AB boundary, 50% retracement, D extension achieved, daily support. So let's see if, again, do we break or do we hold and get a pullback? Okay. So that's what I'm looking for here on the Aussie dollar, to see what happens when the new AB boundary forms. Okay. So nothing doing there for me just yet. Questions on the
Nope.
All right, deal. Take a look at these Canadian rate statement coming tomorrow, right? CAD Swiss still hovering in the zone. Okay, shallow retracement 118, 127, still stuck in this range last week, right? Pulled back and we're pressing sideways ahead of the rate statement. Yeah, man, it's just bouncing. It's just bouncing. Just waiting patiently, right? Waiting patiently to see what happens. It met my rules, stop loss outside the D extension, and letting it go, right? Letting it go. It definitely is playing a game. We know over 2 months the Swiss had some strength, and now we're looking to see what happens with the Canadian dollar. Do we get a shift in this and get us at least a retracement back to the 382? But maybe we get price to move deeper on the CAD and push further to the upside. We'll see, right? But we got this weekly support level that we have, right? We tested it multiple times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haven't been able to break through it. So let's see if we get a bounce and a push to the upside. Okay. Coming to the 4. We broke above the cloud and we came back to retest the cloud, right? There's our cloud confirmation there. I also ran a trend line just to, for those that use trend line, break of the trend line as a, you got that as well. Nice break. Now we're just pressing to the side, see if we get another push. Right. So here's your 80 on the 4-hour time frame as well for the, right? So in this one, looking for price move to the upside. Okay. Take these smaller pieces out. Boom. And this, I'm going to adjust this and move this to 82 level. Bang. All right. So that's the 4 coming down to the 1. Right. You see that range. We're tight. We got a 382 push, but ultimately we're moving sideways after that trend break. Okay. So on the 4, we broke and retested the cloud. That's a strong confirmation for me. On the 1, right, we're moving through the cloud. You can see it, right? Price just moving through the middle of the cloud. We broke out, came back down right to the middle of the cloud. So we'll see what transpires on the 1, see if we get that break there. But on this one, I am tracking it off of overall, right? We'll see if we get additional movements and break above the 65,537 level. That'll give us a good initial indication, right? And then if we break above 66,152, right, with more confirmation, we also have a longer term trend line here as well. That will give us more indication of, or more confirmation of price finally ready to break out of this range and make its way to the upside. All right. So that's what we're looking at here on the Aussie Swiss. Okay. So still monitoring, still waiting. Questions on the Aussie Swiss? I mean, not Aussie Swiss, but CAD Swiss.
Nope.
All right. Cool deal. 1 second. 6.3. All right, cool. So head in. Range bound as well, right? We're hovering, come back to the weekly here, hovering at this weekly resistance level. The price just pinched, right? Can move in either direction. Can move in either direction. We do got a weekly support level here. We'll drop this in. like so, right? So coming down to the daily, all right, that weekly support level was a 618 retracement on the daily. And we started our press to the upside, but we got trapped, right? So we're just waiting for price to break out in one direction or the other, give us a good indication of that. But overall, still bearish on the yen. Haven't gotten any changes. So we're looking for price to move the upside. Okay, so we'll see what the rate statement gives us, and if it gives us that catalyst to break out and continue moving long to get to that matching D extension at 114. All right, there's range a little bit more closely there. You see the entry there off the 618 retracement, had a double bottom opportunity and then push before we got trapped. All right, so need a breakout, continuation, the extension at 111 on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so waiting to see what happens here, waiting for the catalyst to push us in. Okay, so that's the CAD Swiss, right? Here's the move on the 1 hour, right? 109 there. 4-hour D extension at 111 to get to all of those, but overall, we're still in profit off the original move, get a finish to the upside. Okay. Questions on the CAD Swiss? Nope. All right. Get it. Euro Aussie. Pulling back. Here on the here on the AB boundary on the daily time, and we're pushing back to the upside, right? Pushing back to the upside. Right now, we're breaking back above this previous monthly level. We'll see what happens, right? As we move through, do we break that B boundary and push into the 118, 127 zone? Okay. Christine Lagarde didn't give us an in way in her speech, but we know we got some bullish activity on the Aussie, right? So that's the push to the upside here. Okay. We do have that's a daily resistance level there that we're pressing into right now. So we'll track that in. I'm going to take that out. And boom. We'll watch that there. This level no longer valid. So that's what we're looking like there on the daily. Okay. So coming down to the 4. Boom. Here we are on the 4. Right. There's our 80-20 scenario, getting a pullback here. Right. So we'll see what happens. Right there. Pressing into that zone, see if that holds. If we press back down to the downside to continue our move down, or do we get a deeper retracement? Come test this top side zone of consolidation here that we broke out of. All right, so two levels there that we'll watch. We'll also watch the news and see what happens, see what type of information we get, right? But daily level there that we'd have to break through first. Okay, but still in the 80-20 zone, still haven't gotten a full finish there. If we run a fib off the top, there we go there. We got a 382, right? So maybe we do push into that 618-786 retracement zone, right? And then turn back over and press back down. We'll see, right? But we're in a retracement phase right now off the 80-20 move to the downside. Coming down to the 1, I ran the fibs off the high and we took out the A. Okay, so on your 1 hour time frame, A got taken out and worked it the other way. AB boundary, boom. Okay, so looking at all we could potentially be in for, right, is maybe one more push to the upside. Okay, zone, break that daily level that we formed, right, and then we'll see if we get price to turnover, continue making this way to the downside. Okay, to see how this moves. If we get that push there, we'll get that posted in the Discord as a trade opportunity if we get that to form for us. All right, but that push puts right back into our time frame. I boxed out that previous consolidation zone. Boom, pushes us right into that zone. Okay, so we could see that occur as we move through. Right, so we'll watch to see how that transpires. But still, overall, looking for the 80-20 to play out off the higher time frames. We're just in a retracement phase on that move. Questions on the Euro Aussie? No. All right. Cool deal. Euro dollar down. Daily time frame down. I dig that, Joy. I dig that. We'll see how it transpires. We shall see. But euro dollar down, breaking this daily support. Next level 106.339. Okay, so got some movement still to go here. So pressing to the downside. We know on the DXY it's kind of flipped, right? Pressing to that next resistance level. So we could see this continue to move down to get there, and then we'll monitor things and see how they go. All right, coming down to the 4. All right, see we're staying below the cloud. However, we're still also inside the AB boundary on the 4-hour time frame level, in line with that 106.314 zone. So we'll watch to see what happens when we get here. Okay. Right? AB boundary. Okay, but pressing down nonetheless on this euro dollar. Coming into the 1, right? You see the move down there. Hit the extension on that 1-hour fib. Now we look for a okay, but breaking that level clean. See if we get a retest and continuation down to the next level at 106. Okay. Questions on nothing doing right now. I'm pressing to the downside, but if you're a burst trader, right, you'd be looking for action like this. Right? Look for action like that. Okay. No questions. Cool deal. We'll keep rocking. EuroCAD. Waiting for a break and retest, Carolina. I dig it. I dig it. Let's see if we get it. So EuroCAD, right? Shallow retracement at 118, pressing to the downside. Got a pullback, and then we've just been pressed sideways ever since. So Canadian dollar news tomorrow. See if we get that catalyst to this daily 382 at 140 at some point, right? But double bottom here, came back a third time to test that daily support level before we got the bounce. So be interesting to see what happens with the euro this month as well, as Christine Lagarde is trying to, stay tight-lipped and control things as much as she can. But we'll see if we get this move back first, getting to 144.872. Okay, coming here to the 4 long, right? Long on the euro overall, had a deep retracement. Deep retracement, didn't quite get to that 8.6 level, even though we were right there, right? Might have been a short or so, but just barely missed that 8.6, press back down, and we're pressing sideways. So again, just waiting to see what transpires here to see if we get a move down or if we get a move to the upside, all based on what happens tomorrow with that Canadian dollar rate statement. Okay. So pressing sideways, but coming down to the 1. Here we are on the 1. Okay, so we need to see either break or push back to the top of the range. Okay, so wait and see there as well on questions here. No. All right, cool deal. Cool deal. Looked at the euro dollar, euro CAD, pound Aussie. Similar to, and we talked about euro Aussie, we're pulling back, right? On the daily time frame, we got 80-20 scenario. Okay, didn't get to the D extension, press down. Now we're pulling back, right? Now we're pulling back. So let's watch and see, right? If price stalls, and then we get a continuation to the downside. All right. Coming down to the 4, we'll see this a little bit more clearly here. Okay. There's our 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement, 118, 120 breakdown. Right. Strong impulsive move down. Now we're getting a pullback. Okay. Didn't get it earlier, but it's coming for us, right? So now as we retest some of these levels, we'll see if price stalls and turns back over and continues moving to the downside. Okay. So that's the 80-20 on the 4. Here is the here is the 80-20 on the 1, right? So ran the fibs off, the price was pushing down. All right, broke the cloud, continued moving down, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. We got that consolidation, and there's the retracement. Right? So now looking for a high price. For example, you've seen it, right? Box this out previously. Boom. So wait for price to come into our sweet spot, which is making its way, right? Press into the sweet spot and then see if we get an opportunity to get back short, right? So down, pull back, look for a continuation here. Okay, so wait for a high price to price push into the 618 retracement level for a continuation short here on the pound Aussie, right? And then tracking the longer term move here off the daily, off the 4-hour and off the daily on that 80-20. Beautiful move initially to the downside at its lowest 442. Now look for pullback, opportunity to add to the trade if that's in your trading plan, or an opportunity to enter off the 1-hour time frame and look for a continuation to the downside. You guys follow me there?
Yes.
All right. Questions? No. All right. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. All right, cool deal. Over to the pound CAD. Also trapped in, right? Also trapped in a range. We got a support level here that we just been bouncing off of, and we got this resistance level here. Boom. All right. So trapped in the range here. Overall, been pressing long. 382, push long, right? Let's see what happens. A nice push to the upside. We'll see how the news on the Canadian dollar impacts this pair. Coming down to the 4, this is where our long entry came. All right, 618 retreat to the upside, but we weren't able to take out and continue to the upside here, right? So we got held up and then we got trapped in the range. So let's see what transpires before we make any decisions here, right? Just pressing sideways. Coming down to one, right? Your star waves, you got a retracement 618, again, just trapped. So if things come out in favor of the Canadian dollar, right? We could see this press to the downside or the extension, right? Which will be a breakout of the range and that continuation short. Okay. If they don't, if they hold rates or have more of a dovish tone, then we could see this push back to the upside. Okay. So just wait and see on the pound CAD. Questions here? No. All right. All right. You're welcome, Yacina. Cool deal. Pound dollar. Down. Right. Trying to break through this daily support level here. Out. Two things to look at. Right. I've had this longer term fib on the chart. This is the AB boundary that no action happened here, right? And that fib never popped in. So I drew it manually off of a larger move. So been at a 618 retracement, but also sub fib off the low. Close out. So you didn't get to that 382 level and we're pushing to the upside, right? And now we're getting a pullback. So if we got this daily level to break and then this weekly level to break. If we break both of these, then I think we get right. So, but got some work to do in the meantime. So we'll watch to see what happens here and see what action we get. Okay. But pressing that daily level at 125, coming to the 4. Boom. All right. Here. Just tap that 180, moving down, right? Headed to that 382. All right. So been a great move. Beautiful. Now let's see what transpires as we hit these key support levels. Okay. Coming to the 1. Whoops. Back that up. Just want to see. There we go. On the 1, moving into our deeper zones on the 1 hour fib. Okay. As we continue pressing down, do we stay inside that AB boundary? Okay. Do we stay inside that AB boundary? That's what we'd be looking to see. That's what we'd be looking to see. So watch and see what happens. I'm not a ton with the pound this week. Construction PMI. Yeah, not a ton with the pound this week. So be more dollar based than anything. So we'll watch and see how things move with this pair, right? But that's where we sit. Questions on pound dollar? All right, cool deal. Questions on anything that we covered this morning? All right, so waiting to see how things transpire, right? Slow motion, had a holiday weekend, waiting to see how things move when the New York session opens, see if we get a catalyst for some of these to either give us entry opportunities off deep retracements, or if it pushes price into our sweet spot zone, for us to then look for entry opportunities. So waiting to see how things move first day of the week. Benny, anything you got your eyes on or anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. Just still tracking that, that euro yen. We have put an opportunity out there for
Oh yeah. Look at that.
another tree, and that dollar CAD. And then other than that, just putting the fundamental summaries in the Discord now. So make sure you guys watch out for that.
Perfect. Let's throw yen opportunity here. That's the euro yen opportunity posted that Benny posted in the Discord. Shallow retracement 181.27 zone. Live up. All right. Beautiful play there. Let's see if we get price to continue moving to the upside on that one. Appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
All right, good people. Anything else, bro?
Nope, that's it.
All right, cool deal. Good people. Have a phenomenal day. 3 more weeks. What's 3 more weeks, Joy?
Another trade for another 3 weeks.
We're still moving, huh?
Yeah.
I dig it.
But that looks so good. I'm like, the FOMO is real, but I'm keeping it time.
The test of patience. Good job. And we appreciate you. All right, good people. Have a phenomenal day. Find your 1%. We'll chat soon. Peace.